Hello, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Stephen Whiteway. I am one half of the team with Kara Whiteway. Together, we are serial entrepreneurs. We are owners at fastrenovations.ca, GTA Property Partners, as well as Kara has her own brand, which is Healthy Fitness Choice. The gentleman here as a guest and co-host with me absolutely needs no introduction. He's been Donald Trump's right-hand man for 47 years. He's a celebrity apprentice judge. Many of you may recognize him from there. He's also a best-selling author, and he's also been the coach for my coach, JT Fox, for the past 10 years. Ladies and gentlemen, this is George Ross.
Hi there. What an introduction.
I had to practice. How are you, George?
I am just fine. What can I do for you?
First of all, just an honor, sir, to have you here with me. This was a bit of a surprise. I think Kara was slated to have the call with you, and I was ended up designated. So just thoroughly honored and humbled to have you here with me. I have 3 questions for you.
Go.
Recently, Kara and I have been watching the documentaries with Donald Trump's journey, I guess, ultimately to the White House. You were there for 47 years of that. How or what do you think is the most influential decision or part of his life that you've been a part of that was part of his success and ultimately his journey to the White House?
Well, that's a good question, a long journey. But understand that I was no part of him going to the White House.
No.
In other words,
the other parts.
no, we had a wonderful working relationship. When I say I was there as an advisor, as a trusted advisor, I was not a paid employee. I had no financial interest in his companies. But when we had something he wanted to discuss, we would discuss it, and I tell him what I thought, not necessarily what he wanted to hear, and he respected the opinion. Now, once he decided that he wanted to go to the White House at this point, I said, now I have to retire. I have to retire. I know too much. I know too much about him. I know where all the bodies are buried. And I don't want to be involved in politics. So it's time basically for me to back off. But yes, I knew a tremendous amount about the man's personality. Now, and give it to you, I can sum it up very quickly in 2 ways. Number one, and it doesn't necessarily don't put it in order of priority. Number one, the man he cannot accept losing.
Yeah.
He has to win.
Absolutely.
At all costs. So he's not a good loser, or will never be a good loser. Now, whether that's plus or minus, put it any way you want. Number 2 is he says what's on his mind, not necessarily what someone would want to hear. It doesn't have to be political. He tells you what he wants you to say. Now, that doesn't mean he's thought of it carefully. Mm-hmm. That means this is what's on his mind. And later on, I said, well, maybe I have to change it. Also, he will exaggerate at this. He never tells you what the truth is. He'll always make it look better than it is, if he wants it better, or worse if he wants it worse. That's his personality or his lifestyle. And nevertheless, he is a superb negotiator. Superb. He knows exactly how to negotiate. He has the characteristic of a superb negotiator. One, he is unpredictable. That's the key to negotiate. If people don't know what you're going to do, how can they deal with you? They say, well, you're not acting like a normal person. That's true. But then you don't know what to do. So that is important. And as far as his background is concerned, I followed his ascent into the White House and everything that's going on with interest, but not personally involved.
Well, my second question is for somebody that you are personally involved with. In February, we met JT Fox for the second time. We hired him as our wealth and business coach. Mm-hmm. JT is personally responsible for our 3 business brands. He gave us the names and the brands and has helped us since then. Most recently, JT, Paulie, and Francie have partnered with us. So as JT being a partner and a coach for Kara and I, my second question is with regards to JT. When he first approached you and walked into your office some 10 years ago, what was the one thing you either thought he would have to change, or something that you saw valuable that he would have to perfect, that you feel is the reason why he's been so successful to this point?
Well, not to perfect. First of all, he had a tremendous amount of raw courage. He wormed his way into my office and I didn't know who he was. Okay, and I didn't know all of a sudden he showed up. He showed up like we were friends, and we weren't friends. I never met him, but nevertheless, I was in the executive offices of the Trump Tower, and here's a guy who gets to me, and I'm listening to him, but I've never seen him. I never talked to him, but he's coming out like we're old friends.
Safe to say that his impression that day was the reason why you stayed on with him?
Yeah, no, the impression, I said, well, I appreciated his raw courage.
Amazing.
And say that he has the courage to do what he's doing, most people won't do. I said, somebody that's that courageous is somebody I just like to keep an eye on because to me, it's interesting. I like to see somebody who will take what he's got in his abilities and use them maybe in a different manner, not as anybody else would do. Who in the office, who would try to go and get directly to talk to Donald Trump when he never met him or anything?
Yeah.
And how did he get up to the 24th floor?
It was a genius plan.
Yeah, how did he get up to the 24th floor? And how did he see me? So I appreciated the fact that the creativity that he had. And I said, at the time, did I basically think it's going to go any further? Not necessarily, no. But then he had a radio station. And he said, good, I have a radio program at this point. I know you're into real estate. Would you talk on my radio station? That was, so we have a different level of communication. Well, if you talk to somebody who's in business and you say, I give you an opportunity to publicize what you do or publicize yourself, would it be interesting? Yes. And at that time I had radio stations, so I knew where we were coming from. So that was a key. I said, okay, enough to keep a conversation going. Then later on, when he kept the conversation going, I said, yeah, this guy's a nut. But he's going to be very successful because he's got great ideas, he's got a great personality, and he's very smart.
Amazing. Obviously, we have full trust in him as well. And now that we're partnered with him, we're looking forward to the future. Really appreciate your time, obviously, hoping that we would have many more conversations with you in the future. My last point and question, I see the Apprentice poster in the background.
Yeah.
Kara and I have made many attempts to try to have a renovation show on HGTV. So at the age of 92, what would it take for Kara and I to get you out of retirement to come back into showbiz with us?
Nothing. What would it take? Very simple. I just have to be around.
Excellent. You'll be around, George.
And I have to have the mental acuity which would be necessary so that I wouldn't look like a blooming idiot.
Well, you're as sharp as a tack. That's what my grandmother used to say.
That's the key.
And we're just so grateful for the opportunity to get to know you and to be coached by you. I would have never guessed 10 months ago that these doors would have opened and I would have had these opportunities to meet these great people, and just so valuable for Kara and I, and we really appreciate you, George. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Good, Kev. Keep up the good work and keep dealing with JT and with Paulie and make a bonus.
Absolutely. It's on the table. We're ready to go.
There you go.
Awesome. Thank you for your time, George.
You're welcome. Be well.